Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the January 2011 Ohio Auctioneers Association Convention. My name is Jerry Stichter, representing the OAA, and on behalf of them I'd like to welcome Richard Troup, 2007 Hall of Fame inductee. We inducted two new members in a short time ago today, and interviewing some of the past inductees into the Ohio Auction Hall of Fame. Richard's from Lancaster.
That's correct.
Lancaster, Ohio. And how many years in the auction business?
I got my auctioneer's license in 1982. I had my real estate broker's license in 1971 and saw the benefits of auctioning real estate and became licensed to do that. That was the primary thrust.
And you now have children in the business, associates. Where do you stand today?
We have two sons in the business with us, and it's worked out quite well, and there seems to be plenty of business for all of us.
And do they handle the technology part with digital cameras, computers, websites, etc., or do you tell them how to operate this?
Oh, no. The computer world is their world, and the world that I enjoyed was without computers, and I can turn the computer on and off, but that's about as far as it goes. The boys, my sons Robert and Ryan, are very, very versed in computers, and they can do most anything, and it's amazing what they can call up.
There's one other person in this Troup auction business that you didn't mention in that group.
That's right. That's my wife. And Dolores has been with me ever since we started, of course, and we worked hand in hand from the very beginning and built the business to where it is today.
Yeah, that's great. And the pathway, you said you sold real estate. Did you have another profession or vocation?
Yes, our family, my father and my grandfather, were both in the grain, feed, and fertilize business. And in my early years, I was in that business too. But that business went the way of the corner grocery, and it was necessary to move on into something else. So I chose to go the real estate route and then the auction route.
And a lot of small sales in the past. Do you see a new trend toward more quality and less quantity, or where are we headed with this profession?
That's an interesting question, Jerry. We're seeing, of course, as everyone else is, that walnut and cherry, which used to be coveted, is now not of interest to the new buyers and the new families that are establishing. They're interested in the retro look and the chrome, and consequently the good cherry and the walnut. And the corner cupboards and the Victorian period has declined in value considerably.
Will that come back? Will the generations take another turn of the wheel?
If that were to come back, it's going to take quite a bit of time. The current generation that are furnishing their homes today want nothing to do with it. They don't want sterling silver. They don't want anything that takes work to polish and to keep nice. If it can't go in the dishwasher, they don't want it. So to answer your question as to whether that market will come back, if it does come back, it's going to be a long time.
Will the auction industry adjust?
Yes, we certainly will. And of course, the chrome tables that when I first was in business and we were fortunate to get $1 for and hope somebody would carry them off, are things that are being sought after today and bringing big money, comparatively speaking.
Is an education not only for our customers and clients, but for the auctioneers themselves? You've been an active member in the OAA, a great promoter of this organization. Address what this group of business people have done for the auction industry in Ohio.
Well, I think they have been very, very important. And as far as the members are concerned, the education that is offered is very, very timely, and the information that is shared among the auctioneers that belong to this association in the hallways during breaks and during lunch is just invaluable.
Now, this gentleman is also not just in the Hall of Fame. Tell us about some of your offices and positions. He has done numerous things to promote this industry.
I started out as a director, Southeast director, and was at that time on many committees, and then worked my way up through the ranks and was president in 2002. And what a privilege I thought that was, that my peers elected me president, and then turned around in 2007 and elected me to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. It's very humbling, and I certainly love the auction business, and that's where my heart is.
You know, and you know, we have our association, we have the Auction Commission, apprentice auctioneers. Your sons, I assume, apprenticed under you, or did you send them off to someone else?
No, they both apprenticed under me, and I served on the Auctioneers Commission, the State of Ohio Auction Commission, for several years. And the thing that I observed there was that I questioned whether or not that the state was giving enough information to those candidates to really develop the kind of auctioneers that we have in our industry today. A lot of the people, a lot of the young men and ladies too, who got their auctioneer's license are no longer licensed. They just didn't make it.
There's a lot of specialty shops, industries, and things in the world today. Is that true of the auction profession? You know, you sell real estate, I think you sell personal property. We talked earlier about farm equipment and what's happening there. If it can be sold, I guess the free enterprise system auctions does it.
That's right. And there are some auctioneers who have attempted to specialize into certain areas such as pottery, and some have been successful and some haven't. We chose not to do that. We like to think that we're real estate specialists, but we're always welcomed to have a personal property auction as well, whether it be household goods and furnishings, farm machinery, industrial, or businesses that going out of business. We welcome all those kinds of opportunities.
In that respect, don't you see the need for cooperation between firms? That you sell real estate and I've got coins, what do I do? You know, that this group of men and women in the state of Ohio and throughout the country are more willing to contact their competition and meet at the January convention to talk about these things.
Oh yes, and that's very important, and you must be educated today. And if there are, for instance, paintings, if there are paintings that you're not familiar with, but yet you know that they are quality, you need to do the research in order to get the promotion in a proper place so that they bring the amount of money that they are worth.
I had an opportunity to come to your area when Mike Klum sold an expensive painting.
Yes.
You were one of the phone people helping ring that particular auction. And as I remember, it far exceeded expectations.
It certainly did, and yes, I helped Mike that day, and it was really an experience that was wonderful because no one knew that painting had that kind of value.
And when we say quite a value, I remember that we had the 3 zeros, the comma, and then more numbers out.
That's right. It was over $200,000.
Yes. It was a neat experience, and from the auctioneer right on down. But the system worked because we put it out, and the vision of the public, you know, answered the question.
In a normal auction, if you find something that you haven't advertised, and so many times when we're on site, we do find things that we haven't seen before the day of the auction. If you have the auction properly advertised, the buyers will be there to pay the price for that item that you find.
They're a knowledgeable group of people. What unusual, is there something that stands out as the most unusual item you sold or the most unusual auction you conducted?
Interesting. The most unusual item or auction, I'll have to scratch my head a little bit on that because so many of them are interesting and you find unusual things. We had a sterling silver cigarette case that had Roosevelt's face inscribed on the front, and it was a very interesting piece. We thought it was something that might bring $50, $75. It wasn't too large, but the day of the auction it brought $150. And that, of course, gets the adrenaline going real well.
It's an exciting business. Is there any advice you can have to colleagues, young people?
The younger people that are coming into the business, I think, have to recognize that this is a process and that they're not going to be millionaires overnight. And I think that some of the younger people that are coming into the industry are looking at it in the wrong light, and they have to be patient. And they have to start their business and be happy with the first 3 or 4 auctions in the first 6 months, let's say. And if they're true to their people and if they're honest, the business will come.
I think it lends to the historical perspective of the auction business. They've done auctions since the Roman times, and Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither are auction businesses.
That's right.
Is there anything you'd like to add or speak to? We have the airways at our command right now. So.
Well, I think that there's a golden opportunity for the young people, my sons included. They're well down the road as far as numbers of auctions are concerned, and I think that the auction method of marketing is something that's going to grow, and that real estate especially, I think the opportunities there are unlimited. And of course, 25 years ago, real estate at auction was almost unheard of. But today it's becoming the marketing tool of choice, not last resort.
That free market enterprise and public auction need to go together just as many times as we can make that happen.
That's certainly true.
Richard, we appreciate it. I've known this gentleman for a good many years now, and National Auctioneers events and Ohio Auctioneers events, we spent time together, and we sure are glad to have you as a Hall of Fame member in the 2007 class, and look forward to seeing you at these events in the future, a long time to come.
Thank you, Jerry, and the feeling is certainly mutual.